The corridors of the ITV studios buzzed with their usual morning energy. Makeup brushes tapping, producers hurrying with clipboards, coffee cups clinking. But beneath the surface, a strange current of unease flowed through the building. People whispered, heads turned, phones lit up with messages. Something was wrong, and everyone knew it. In her dressing room, Ruth Langsford sat in front of the mirror, her reflection pale and tense. The makeup artist kept glancing at her nervously, dabbing foundation gently as if afraid to break her. Ruth hardly blinked. Her hands lay motionless in her lap, knuckles white from gripping each other. She had spent the entire night awake, listening to Eamonn's breathing, shallow, uneven, as he rested in bed. He hadn't wanted her to worry, but she could see the pain etched into every movement he made. She had begged him to tell the producers he couldn't appear today, but Eamonn Holmes was stubborn. A lifetime in broadcasting had shaped him into a man who showed up no matter how he felt. Except this morning, he didn't. The door creaked open, a producer stepped in carefully. "Ruth, sweetheart, the viewers are asking where Eamonn is. Are you sure you want to go live? We can rearrange." "No," Ruth said quietly. "I'll do it." Her voice trembled despite her best effort to steady it. She couldn't hide what she felt, the fear, the heartbreak, the helplessness pressing down on her chest. But she could honor the truth. That was all she had left. Live on air, the moment that broke hearts. When the show began, Ruth walked onto the set slowly, each step heavier than the last. The cameras zoomed in, the studio audience fell silent. Ruth wasn't smiling, an unsettling sight for those who had grown used to her warmth, her steady presence, her brightness. "Good morning," she began, swallowing the emotion rising in her throat. "Before we start the program, I need to share something important." The room went still. Even the crew behind the cameras looked shaken. "It's about Eamonn." A collective gasp echoed across the studio. Ruth continued, voice cracking ever so slightly. "He's been dealing with a serious, condition, something we've kept private for a while. But last night, it became clear that he couldn't join us today. He needs rest, support, and time to recover." She paused, blinking back tears. "He didn't want anyone to worry. He didn't want this to become a spectacle. But I know our viewers care deeply about him, and you deserve honesty." Somewhere in the audience, someone whispered, "Oh no." Ruth's hands trembled on the table. "We don't know how long he'll be away. It may be days. It may be longer. But I promise you, he is fighting, and I am right beside him." The chat room exploded online. Tweets flooded in. Fans cried, prayed, sent love from every corner of the country. Ruth inhaled shakily. "Eamonn is one of the strongest people I know. He's stubborn, he's proud, he's endlessly determined, but even the strongest of us need help sometimes." Her eyes glistened. "Please keep him in your thoughts." The cameras cut to a commercial break, but Ruth remained frozen in place, staring down at her hands. When the lights dimmed, she let out a breath she'd been holding for too long. The show continued, but something in the studio had changed. Everything felt heavier, quieter, more fragile. Back home, the truth behind the tears. When Ruth returned home later that afternoon, she found Eamonn sitting in his favorite armchair, wrapped in a blanket, watching the recording of the show. His eyes softened as she walked in. "You didn't have to tell them," he murmured. "Yes," Ruth whispered, kneeling beside him. He took her hand, squeezing gently. "I'm sorry you had to carry this." She shook her head, tears slipping down her cheeks. "We carry it together, Eamonn, always." He leaned forward, resting his forehead against hers. I'll get through this," he whispered. "I promise." "I know," she replied, "but until you do, I'll be your strength." Outside, evening settled softly over the city. Inside, Ruth held Eamonn's hand tightly, a silent vow that whatever storms came, they would face them as one. And across the country, ITV fans held their breath, waiting, praying, hoping for the man they adored to return to the screen once more.